Hello everyone, this guide will go over everything you need to know about the Lucilius high level raid in every element so that you are ready to fight it. Firstly, set up your teams. Everyone needs to be playing Spartan to rotate phalanxes. Everyone will likely need Dispel unless you're running Vicala, and at least half of your raid should be running Clarity. Gravity should also be brought by someone. When setting up your teams, pick characters for your labours first. For the rest, bring characters who have Dispel, Delay, or Survival skills. Of course a buffer too. In the description there will be a link to a wiki page that lists characters and weapons for each element. It isn't updated with newer characters, but it's a very good starting point to get some ideas for your teams. As for your grid, remove the Sephiroth weapon as this is a neutral element fight, and run HP weapons so that you have over 30,000 health. The dragon weapons are a good way to get some survivability and damage before you can uncap your opus. As for summons, the Archarum HP summons are good for reaching the 30,000 requirement. If you have element switch, Bunkles will give you a few turns of 100% cut, as will summons like Athena. Summons like Michael that delay and dispel are also good. Kirin is a good option both for your 10 million turn and also to refresh your phalanx if everyone falls out of sync. Now to the actual fight. First things first, when you enter you will take 30,000 plain damage. Get your blue pots and heal up from it. Then dispel his stack. You will need to keep on top of dispelling these over the fight. He adds one every time he yogis. Also have someone gravity Lucy. I don't have the footage of this as I don't have Yurius, but the wind player will use him to apply debuffs to both Lucy and the wings. You will be attacking the wings first. When taking turns, signal that you'll cast Phalanx to not overlap and then hit OK after you take your turn. This will keep everyone in sync with each other. If you're doing the overchain labour, I recommend only OGing above 85%, depending on how much damage everyone is doing. You will need a full chain at 50% and Lucy's debuffs can slow you down. Now for Lucy's Ogis. It's best to eat his first Ogi in normal mode as it's Phosphorus. This is predictable, it targets the character with the highest attack and dispels them. When he hits Overdrive, his Ogi changes to Iblis, which does random damage to everyone and can inflict up to 3 debuffs, including Fear and Weakened. I'll talk about the Wings Ogis in a bit. Feel free to use up your potions in this part of the fight as it's easier to survive later on when the wings are dead. When you hit 70%, he will cast Sephiroth, which clears all debuffs and brings up the 6 death countdown. After this point, if 6 characters across the whole raid die, he wipes the raid. Once again, have the wind player debuff them and push on to 50%. If you find yourself in a situation where both charged diamonds line up in overdrive, stop. He will cast Paradise Lost and kill you. His mode bar resets to 50%, freeing you to take turns. Let your teammates know and maybe they can get a delay summon to you, otherwise just wait. When you hit 50%, he will cast 7 Trumpets, which clears his debuffs again, dispels the one who triggered it, and brings up the 12 labors. At this point, everyone needs to stop and wait. Firstly, reapply debuffs. The plain and debuff labor can be done right away. Just make sure he doesn't have the Wings of the Word buff as it will cut your plain damage. Also, all labors need to target Lucy, not the wings. For the debuff labor, you need 10 debuffs on him. Anila can do this herself. Local debuffs also count. Once debuffs are done, the overchain character will take their turn. Do not attack before them as their labor being up nullifies Phalanx. They will clear their labor before receiving damage, so they will be fine. There are a few elements that can do the overchain labour, but Earth mostly gets saddled with it due to Octo. You can mix and match which element does which labour, as every one can do multiple depending on characters. For example, Dark can do plain with Ferry, Vikala, and either poison or plain damage from a summon like Michael. Next is the 30 hit labour. This is easier to do once the wings are dead, as all the hits need to go on Lucy, not the wings. Kirin can be used to pump out skills to clear it. Triple attacks with Echo are also another way to do this. Lastly from the special labours is the Paradise Lost one. To clear this, you just have to get hit with it. You'll need to line up both charged diamonds in overdrive and either have an invulnerability skill or 100% elemental cut with switch. All element cut doesn't work. Here are some more setups to do it. Be careful of the follow-up plane damage if you get low doing it. Also make sure to do this labour before the wings die. Now for the first 6 labours. Each element needs to do 10 million damage in one turn to Lucy to clear these. This is easiest done with a full chain Ogi. Save some skills for this turn and combo with a Bahamut or Shiva to boost your damage. This is also where the Wings Ogis come in. It cycles between 2 Ogis. Mars, the first Ogi, will give you an apple buff that boosts your charge damage. However, it will also deal plain damage to you when you Ogi. Mars will also remove the words buff from Lucy, which you will need removed to do full damage to him. The second Wings Ogi is the Fig, which will apply Zombified to you and an apple buff that heals both you and the boss when you use the skill. Even though it heals the boss, this can be useful if your HP is getting low. Now on to Lucy's HP triggers. 95% will cause him to do Phosphorus. These triggers do not reset his charge diamonds, so be careful. The 85% trigger is one of the most deadly. He casts Axion, which does 3 hits to the character with the lowest HP. If they die, he does a further 30,000 plain damage to the rest of the party. It's easy to wipe here, so try to reach 100% cut on this turn, or wait for around 75% where it no longer triggers. The 75% trigger is one you shouldn't see, but it can happen. If the wings are still alive, he will gain a buff that reduces damage until a chosen element does their 10 million labor again. At 70% his diamonds will fill. Plan your delays around this so you don't waste them. At 60% he will cast Axion again. However, this one isn't as deadly as it spreads the damage across all characters. It still does the 30,000 plane damage if someone dies, so don't die. At 55% he will fill his charged diamonds once more. 35% will only happen if the wings are still alive. He will cast Paradise Lost, however you will likely never see this one. 25% is special. It does no damage as long as you don't have any duplicate races. If you do, it will kill one of them, front or back line. Make sure your team is made up of only one human, Draf, Arune, Haven, Primal or other type. The main character doesn't count as any. If you did need to run a duplicate, make sure to save up a full Ogi and wait here while everyone else pushes on. Go for Wood clears debuffs too, so Wind will have to re-debuff again. From this point on, turns are skipped, so others can help stack debuffs. The 20% and 15% triggers are both Axion Apocalypse. They remove debuffs from Lucy, so be careful crossing them. "10% cast Paradise Lost. This one is different as all element cut can block it. If you can reach 100% cut, you can cross it. If not, save up a full chain and wait before 10%. 3% is the same Paradise Lost trigger again. If the countdown reaches 0, everyone who is waiting can try to kill him before dying. If you're lucky, you can still win it. And that's the fight. There's a lot to remember, but just focus on your labour and remember to watch out for the 85% and 10% triggers and you should be fine. If you don't have a crew to do this with, you can join co-op raid rooms. With how much communication this raid needs, it might seem daunting to join Japanese players, but it's really not. All you need to do is type the number of your labours in the room and everyone will know what to do. And that's everything. Hopefully more people will feel confident in trying this raid after watching this. Thanks for watching. See ya.